In Super Mario Party, there is a new partner mode where you team up with another player and compete to earn more stars and coins than the other team that you're playing against. However, unlike any other Mario Party game I've played before, this is the only one where you could have enough coins to buy the star, enough movement to get to the star, and yet still only have a 50% chance of actually being able to earn that star. So I want to talk about why this happens and what we can do about it to make that 50% chance go up to 100% chance of getting that star. So the first reason that this happens is because unlike traditional Mario parties where you move around in a usually circular circuit type pattern, this one actually takes place on a grid. So if I rolled a 5, for example, I could choose how I want to move. I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can choose that movement because this partner mode exists on a grid. Now the second reason that you might only have a 50% chance of getting a star is because of how your movement is actually calculated. So let me show you what I mean. I'm controlling both Shy Guy and Wario right here, and I'm going to roll 2 dice, and when I roll their numbers, they're going to combine, and that's going to be the team's movement. So 6 and 4 combined to be 10, right? Each of these two get 10 spaces to move, and there you can see what it looks like, the movement path. So I'm going to choose these movement patterns with Shy Guy and Wario, and here we go, you can see them actually move that way now. Wario landed on an item, and it was a mushroom. So great, now I've got a mushroom. Now that it is Shy Guy and Wario's turn again, we can talk about why the game mechanics make it so that you can only get a star 50% of the time, unless you do the thing I'm about to do. First off, let's recap where we are. Right now, Shy Guy is 3 spaces away from the star. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Wario, however, is 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces away from the star. The reason these two are an even and odd number of spaces away, or just different number, is because even though they each rolled a 10 last turn and moved 10 spaces, they started 1 space apart. So from the very beginning, Shy Guy was an odd number of spaces away from the star, and Wario was an even number of spaces away from the star. That's very important, because let's say that on my turn, I, as Shy Guy, roll a 2, and Wario rolls a 2 as well. They combine, and each Shy Guy and Wario get 4 spaces of movement to work with. Now for Wario, that's perfect, because he's right here, oh my gosh, he's right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. He can land on the star exactly. Shy Guy, however, with 4, would only be able to pass the star, not land on it. 1, 2, 3, 4. He can go any of those places, but he can't get the star. And this is actually the crux of the problem. This is the only Mario Party I've ever played where you have to land on the star in order to get it, as opposed to just passing it. So if Shy Guy rolls a 2, Wario rolls a 2, Wario can land on it and buy the star, and Shy Guy can't. Wario is an even amount of spaces away from the star, and Shy Guy is an odd amount of spaces. So no matter what they roll, because their dice blocks combine and then the same number goes to both of them, only one of them will be able to get the star unless we do something special, which is the point of this video. Now if you recall, on the previous turn, Wario landed on an item space and he got a mushroom. What the mushroom does is, after both players have rolled their numbers and the numbers combine, the mushroom adds 3 to one of the numbers for whoever used it. So if they both roll a 5, it'll combine to make it a 10 for both. And then if Wario used the mushroom, he would have 13 and Shy Guy would have 10 spaces to move. If Shy Guy used the mushroom, he would have 13 and Wario would have 10. So the mushroom is a way to change the roll that you share with your partner from even to odd, or odd to even, because adding odd to an odd makes even, and adding odd to even makes odd. But there's one last kicker that we have to pay attention to. You cannot actually choose which of the characters will use the mushroom until after you roll. So if you use the mushroom on Shy Guy, who is an odd number of spaces away, that's saying, alright, we're going to add 3 to the end of his roll before the rolls of Shy Guy and Wario combine. So if Wario and Shy Guy's rolls naturally make an odd number, like let's say it makes 5, and then Shy Guy gets the 3 from a mushroom to make it an 8, Shy Guy would end up with an even number, 8. Wario would end up with an odd number 5, and neither of them would be able to get the star if Shy Guy ends up with an even number and Wario ends up with an odd number, when Shy Guy needs an odd number and Wario needs an even number. This entire thing basically just comes down to whether it's an even number or an odd number that you actually need to get to the star. And so here is the second and final part of this strategy. Every single character in this game, in addition to a 1 to 6 dice block that they have the option to roll, they also have their own unique dice block. Shy Guy's, as we can see here, is 0, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Or, to put it another way, all even numbers. Wario's dice block, even though we can't see it right here because it's Shy Guy's turn, is 0, 0, 6, 6, 6, 6. Both of the character-specific dice blocks for the team players I selected are exclusively even numbers. That means that if I choose to roll Shy Guy's specific dice block and Wario's specific dice block, I'm guaranteed for them to share an even number to their roll. Now, because Wario needs an even number to get to the star space, and Shy Guy needs an odd number, and you have to add that +3 movement mushroom before you see what the combined rolls are, this allows us to do that. I know that was a lot, but you're going to see it come together right now. I'm going to use the mushroom with Shy Guy. Add 3 to dice roll. The mushroom with Shy Guy, which you have to use before you can see what your team's combined roll is, and then I'm going to roll not the normal dice block, because I could get an odd and he could get an even, but I'm going to roll the Shy Guy dice block, which is only even numbers. Now for Wario, I'm going to roll the Wario dice block, not the normal dice block, which would give me a 50-50 chance of getting an even or an odd. I'm going to roll the Wario dice block, which is 0, 0, 6, 6, 6, 6, right? So I'm going to roll this dice block. And now, watch what happens. We're going to roll the dice blocks. They're going to combine to get an even number, and then Shy Guy's going to get 3 added to his roll. So you saw that right there? Shy Guy rolled a 0, Wario rolled a 6. They combined so that they both got 6, which is an even number, which is great for Wario, but not for Shy Guy. But, because we used that mushroom in the beginning of the turn for Shy Guy, we were able to control that Shy Guy would get an odd number. We can see that Wario can use an even number of spaces to get to the star. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gonna select that. And Shy Guy will need an odd number of spaces to get to the star. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I can hit OK, and both my teammates get to the star space. Now you may have noticed that I actually don't have enough coins to buy 2 stars. That's not really the point, because ideally you would have enough coins to buy the star, or for both of you to buy the star. But the point is that through using an item that can add an odd number to your roll, and using 2 character-specific dice blocks, which will allow you to control whether your shared roll is an even or an odd number, you can control your ability to get to the star. And now here's Wario, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think the best application of this strategy is when you two are both within striking distance of the star, so that you can both land on the star in the same turn before it moves, and you have enough coins to buy it. But another application that certainly can still come in handy is, let's say I were here and my partner were here, and the star were here. If we would just need an even number, we could just each roll the even numbers on our die, and then boom, he gets it. But if the star were an odd number away, we could do the whole strategy with the mushroom, where we each roll the even numbers, so it's an even, but then Wario would use the mushroom. And yeah, that might seem like overkill if the star is only 3 spaces away, but I played this mode so many times where the star was just 3 spaces away, but I rolled a 10. And so because it was an odd number of spaces and I rolled an even, I couldn't get it, and you just feel it's frustrating to just like make circles and circles and circles using up your movement when you can't just actually land on the 1 space you want. So in summary, the reason you only have a 50% chance of getting the star is because it's entirely dependent on whether you get an even or an odd roll. and that's because of the game being a grid-based play, but also this star space being one you have to land on instead of passing like in previous games. But as we've seen, there are still ways to optimize your strategy around these game design principles. Specifically, picking 2 characters for whom you can control whether they'll roll an even or an odd number, like Wario and Shy Guy's special dice block, and then utilizing an item like a mushroom or a golden mushroom, which will allow you to change your guaranteed even or odd into odd or even. That's all I've got for now. I hope you're still enjoying these analytical breakdowns of video games and their design principles. Make sure to click that gray bell next to subscribe so you'll be notified every time I upload a video, and of course, special shout out to Skeptical7th and all my other patrons on Patreon. Thanks everyone.